So Michael Bonomo is a student at Concordia University, lives in Montreal, Quebec, and studying philosophy at the moment at Concordia. It's going to be his second year running a window cleaning business in, I guess it's Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson, St. Lazare, and Vaudreuil.
Yeah, and last year, Michael's actually our top rookie of the year, ran an $85,000 window cleaning business, and he's going into his second year and going to take it to the next level. So, Michael, I'm curious, what were you doing before you actually started out with the student management program?
That's actually interesting that you say that. So like before I actually started with the student management program, I was actually working as a project manager under somebody else who was in the program. And the whole time I was watching this person grow tremendously, and I was always intrigued by it because I just saw him adapting in so many ways, and it really interested me from there. So I kind of started to adapt into his work. So I kind of started to get more involved in my peers' business. So I started doing a lot of marketing with them. I started doing estimates with them, and really just discovered how much I kind of was interested by management, leadership, and running your own ship. And that actually ended up me changing programs now. So now I am in philosophy, but I'm working my way into business. But that's actually something I discovered through this program, which is actually pretty cool. So essentially before this, I was working grunt work, more or less, just working from the ground up, doing the little guy stuff. And then I saw the way that my peer was working, and I wanted what he had. I wanted to be a leader, a manager, and I wanted more than just working for minimum wage. I wanted to get what I was putting into my work. I wanted to make what I was putting into my efforts.
Yeah, and the guy you were working for, that was your older brother?
Yes, that was my older brother, Carlo. Ironically enough, he actually inspired me to chase the rookie operator of the year, because the year before that, he actually broke the record and achieved veteran operator of the year. So that was something that I was striving for, because it was so cool to see him reach that level and all the growth he made getting to that it made me want to strive for the same thing.
Why did running your own business appeal to you?
So, well, for one, I got to see the financial freedom that my brother was getting through running a business in Student Works. It allowed him to put a lot of his extra effort into other things that could excel you in other ways, right? Like schooling or personal health, fitness, things that are also important to you. So the reason why I really wanted to jump into Student Works was to gain, one, financial freedom, and two, a big way to gain financial freedom is to really learn how to manage and lead a team. So Student Works was the perfect platform to learn these key business elements. Although necessarily I don't want to always be in painting or window washing my entire life, Student Works actually just teaches you the essential elements to run a business in almost any field, right? So like, if you could sell water, you could also sell apples, right? So like, it's essentially all kind of relative tools: where to create the need, how to objection handle when certain things are given your way, how to improvise and overcome in certain situations, right? So like, there's a lot of these key elements that you learn through the experience that going through this program that you can apply in different things, gain the financial freedom through running your own business, your own team, in whatever field you choose to go from this point on.
Okay, so obviously, it's a big thing to take on. What would you say you were most concerned about when you were getting started with your own business?
So my biggest concern when I was getting started with this business was essentially the fear of failure, which I feel like is the thing that would stop most people when jumping into something like this. Essentially, I just thought, like, what if I fail? What if I make all these promises to all these people and I set up all this work, and then by the time summer comes around, I won't be able to produce it. And there's so many things, so many elements that come into your head that just tell you not to do it. But that's all fear in the back of your head, and everything that's good in life is on the other side of fear, right? Like, so it was just about just having faith in yourself and taking that leap and keeping those blinders on, because I knew if I kept my schedule the way I needed it, if I left time for school, if I left time for training, if I left time for work, that if I just put those blinders on, kept my head straight, and just did what I had to do, I knew everything would end up okay. The initial thing was just getting over that first hump with the fear of failing.
Okay. So obviously it's a big, process to go through. How are you supported in the process of starting your business?
So the thing that was really awesome about, well, one, the support system that we have with Student Works is insane. We have an awesome team of DMs who guide us through every step of the way. I'm on the phone with mine all the time. He really guides me through every step and any question that I have. And also I have the honor of working with a past operator who, he lives in my home. My brother, who was a recent operator for the company and veteran operator of the year, breaking certain records, he actually lives in my home. So any advice that I kind of need when I can't get a hold of a DM, I have that support system there as well. And not only that, but I also have my family who supports me tremendously. And that's essentially all I really needed to make that first step.
Okay. So Obviously, there's a lot of challenges in running your own business. What would you say was the hardest lesson that you had to learn?
Yeah, so the hardest lesson I started off learning was actually time management. Ironically enough, I've been preaching kind of about it, but originally I only started to understand it because I failed at it at first, or didn't succeed the way I would have liked to succeed at it at first. So I noticed when I first started my business, I was actually consistently taking away from something else. I would put too much effort in one thing, take away from school, and then when I would put too much effort in school, I would take away from the gym, and vice versa. But the main thing is I always want to be the best athlete, the best student, and the best worker I could be, right? The best manager, leader I could be. And another thing that was really big was just organization, which comes with time management, of course. Just scheduling the certain blocks that you need to ensure that you have enough time to study, you have enough time for everything, will really be essential to running your own business, more or less.
And did you end up figuring out time management by the end of it?
The hard way, yes. But yeah, by the end of it, I actually have an awesome system that I now put into place. I have my agenda booked to the T every day. So like when I wake up, I even have a slated time to wake up. Then I have a slated time to do my morning workout, to study, to go to school, to get my second workout in, to have lunch. Everything A to Z in my day from 9 till 10 p.m., 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. is slated in my agenda. And that really helped me with my organization and time management because for myself, I'm just one of those people that if I don't have it in front of me, if I'm not seeing what I need to get done, I'll kind of just delegate and forget. So just putting it all on paper was a huge help for me in time management and organization.
Okay. So what would you say was the most useful thing that you learned from your business? Like the thing that you're using the most day in, day out?
It's hard to pinpoint one thing because there's actually so many things. The biggest thing that I actually learned from my business is actually just confidence in myself. Actually, that's the biggest thing that it brought to me, was having confidence in myself, and that applies in so many things now that I do, whether it's socializing, whether in the future it's going to be a job interview, training, competing. This program helped me believe in myself that I could achieve things that I didn't think I could achieve, because originally when I started off, I never thought I could build a business to the scale that I brought it to. And I feel like a lot of people have that same thing, and that's essentially what making that first leap helped me get through, was it actually built me the level of confidence now to be confident enough to jump into other new things.
So can you give me a few examples of things that you were maybe a little bit less confident about in the past, you're more confident about now?
Ironically enough, so like I was actually a huge introvert when I started this program, ironically enough, because you guys all know me as an extrovert. So, but when I first started off, I was super shy, very mild-toned. I was never the one to kind of speak when you're in a group of people. I was just kind of the one to observe and listen. And yeah, that's essentially what it did. It changed who I am. It turned me into an extrovert. So like that was the biggest thing that I found it changed for me. Other than that, it helped me in my competitions. I used to always get, because I train in martial arts, like I said earlier, I used to get this fear before competing of failure, and that would actually impede on my performance. It would actually affect how I'm training, how I'm competing, and I was actually losing all my matches, ironically enough, before I started this. And this is actually crazy, but I was actually losing all my matches. And I joined this company under my brother, I believe it was in 2014. I haven't lost since then. I haven't lost one match since then. So confidence travels in different ways, and without even knowing it, it affects your life in huge, huge, huge aspects.
Okay. So you're going to graduate, soon, and you're going to finish running your business next year. What do you plan on doing after completing your work here and after you finish wrapping up your window cleaning business?
Well, after doing a program like this, it's hard to say that I don't want to manage my own team in whatever field it goes in. Like I said, I'm huge in health and fitness. Running my own gym would be a good opportunity. I think that's a great way to maximize my abilities. And also jumping into other sales management teams would also be a benefit to me, because I've always had a little bit more of an easier time with sales. So I think that would be an also great opportunity for me to jump into as a sales management position as well.
Okay. So last question for you. Let's say you had to distill and kind of like, summarize the entire experience that you had at StudentWorks in 3 words. What would you describe it as?
Tremendous self-growth, definitely. This company taught me so many things about myself that I never knew I could ever find out.
Awesome. Thanks.